Hey guys, check it out. I'm here in Sardinia, Italy. It's an island off the coast of Italy, and I'm here to review that. Aston Martin flew me out here to drive the brand new DBX 707. Think of it as a DBX on steroids, or think of it as a car that can take you and your family from 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, up to 196 miles an hour. And in this video, we're going to take it for a ride. I'm going to see just how it drives and just how quick it is, well, as legally as possible on these Italian roads. So let's start with a quick walk around. We're rolling on 23s, and look at those massive brakes. If you're going to decelerate from 196 miles an hour, you're going to need a lot of stopping power. Giant exhausts, and of course, pretty crazy aero. Let's pop the back. Good amount of room back here, certainly enough for you and your family. Let's not raise and lower it. Let's pop the seats down so you can see how much room there is. Yeah, it's not bad. This is my camera bag, kind of gives you a sense of how much room is in this vehicle. And of course, it's electronic tailgate. It's pretty massive. I do like this light line that comes across back into the vehicle. Let's see just how much room there is in the back here. Come on, open up, unlock. Tesla had to reinvent the door handle, so not everybody's reinventing it. Very frustrating. What happened to the old manual door handles? Now I am sitting behind myself, and as you can tell, I have plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. I do apologize for the weather, but it's been raining on and off here. It's cold. Kind of the worst of conditions for actually doing video production, but you know, it is very roomy for a car that is basically a sports car that's been you know, put on stilts. I do love this giant sunroof, and this is kind of cool, very British. The leather straps for your handles. Of course, we have individual controls back here, and a little bit of touch of color right there with perforated leather. In fact, leather and carbon fiber everywhere. I'm suspecting that this is real because this car does start at about $230,000. So yeah, if you're gonna get yourself Aston Martin DBX on steroids, you're gonna pay for it. Now let's jump in the front seat and talk about that. So good, yeah, easily in and out. As you can see, it does have air suspension. And it has been raised because we are kind of, well, not quite off-road, but kind of off-roady here. And in case you're wondering, it will tow. According to Aston Martin, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds with this. And that's because, let me show you what's under the hood before the wind comes up again. And this being, of course, a British car, the hood release is, well, if you're American, on the wrong side, but if you're British, I suspect it's on the right side in the passenger compartment. So the engine is an AMG Mercedes-Benz sourced twin turbo V8, hand built in Great Britain and inspected by Lewis Jones, no less. And you can tell 4-liter twin turbo puts out just under 700 horsepower, making it the most, according to Aston Martin, powerful SUV in the land. Now, if you're an American, you'll know that the Durango SRT had 710 horsepower, I believe, but it was limited production. And cars like the Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, I think, are 680. This is just under 700, and of course this directly competes with the Lamborghini Urus, which is 650 horsepower. So in the horsepower wars for internal combustion engines, this, I guess, is the most powerful. Now, Tesla Model X Plaid would have substantially more. And so will the Hummer EV, and at some point a Rivian when that SUV comes along. Actually, before I put this camera up, let me kind of start it up and show you the interior here. So big start button right there, comes to life, and immediately you'll notice lots of leather, lots of carbon fiber everywhere. And then let's start with the transmission. It's got a 9-speed automatic. I believe it's new for the DBX. So you've got your push button transmission, massive paddle shifters right there. and a relatively small screen. I mean, this infotainment feels a little bit last gen Mercedes. I do like the fact that you have a regular knob, or rotary knob at least, for the volume. And here you have your different drive modes, so let's take a look. So we've got Sport, Sport Plus, GT, Individual, and Terrain. Now this, according to Aston, raises the car. You can do it also manually right there by about 40 millimeters. Since I am here in Italy, we have to use the metric system. And that's quite a bit, but keep in mind you are rolling on 23s, so not exactly the most off-road of tires. And you can see the drive mode right there, so I'm in a mountain setting. Now this feels a little bit old school as well, not quite as sharp or as colorful as most modern displays. There's a little bit of a sense of previous generation technology here. Because once again, like for instance, this is not a touchscreen. If you're familiar with the old Mercedes system, you'll be very much aware of how this infotainment works. So you kind of have to scroll using your finger across this mouse pad, this raised mouse pad, and then your home buttons there. Like I said, it's a different drive modes here. Traction control can be completely disabled. Paul will love that, which is good. Yeah, it's relatively comfortable. The seats are well bolstered to keep you in place. My kind of first impression of this car is, it's kind of got this interesting mix of very modern and very old British, almost staid styling. So some of it is like cutting edge, like this color screams, neon scream very, very 2022, and yet all this leather feels, very old school. Most of the modern cars now, of course, have vegan options, and maybe this one does as well. But this one is certainly swathed in a lot of very expensive cowhides. So I think it's time to go for a ride and see how this car performs. Put the camera up here. Sorry about my hair. It's very windy out there. Very rainy at times. And now that I am in off-road mode, I guess we can tackle the off-road and talk about that. So put it in drive, and away we go. Seating position is very tall. I do like that. Sight lines are very good, so no issues seeing over the hood, no issues kind of seeing around me. But yeah, 23s, I would not want to take these off-road. I'm parked at a little like wayside beach access, and this is about as off-roady as I think I'd want to get with this car. It also has a unique distinction as we get on the road here. We'll put it into sport mode, get off the off-road mode, of being one of the only, actually the only DBX with launch control. So you can launch it by putting it into Sport Plus mode and then mashing the brake, mashing the accelerator, and away you go. So maybe we'll give that a little bit of a try. Now these roads in Sardinia are very tight, and this car does feel very big out here. So I don't think it's a great place to actually do straight line acceleration tests. But you know what? Let's put it into Sport Plus, and you and me can go along for the ride and see what happens. So that's Sport Plus mode. Hit the exhaust button, might as well. If you're gonna wake up the neighbors, you might as well not be shy about it. Might as well do it for real. All right, so getting on the road, and road is clear. All right, here we go. Just gonna mash it. Mash the brake. Race start. Oh yeah, all four wheels lost traction. A little tunnel vision. Oh yeah, and that is triple the speed limit. All right, let's get out of race mode. I'll just go into regular GT mode. I think that's probably where this car is happiest. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is definitely the Aston Martin of family haulers. The brakes are strong. I mean, I'm impressed. For a car, I think it weighs about 5,000 pounds. This has really good brakes. Steering's a little on the numb side, but you know what? modern steering is a little numb nowadays. It's very rare to find a car. Porsche does a good job with it that actually can give you good road feel. Surprisingly, this car feels very much alive. Now I am sitting up very tall. I am enjoying these twisty roads, and I am not scared of this car. You know, with 700 horsepower, I remember driving both the Urus and the Durango SRT. That one I drove on the track, and you really feel the weight of that when you start to push it. The Urus is a little bit more planted. It's a little bit more, well, shall we say, Italian, in that it kind of brings a sense of occasion to everything that you do. And of course, this also competes with the Bentayga. And the Bentayga is a car that is very much like this, but just a little bit more British in some ways. And what I mean by that is a little bit more staid, a little bit more traditional. So if you're looking at the three competitors, at least three ICE competitors, with the Bentayga, the DBX 707, and the Urus. The Urus is probably like out here on the sports car side of things. The Bentayga is somewhere to the left of it, and this is somewhere in between. And of course, the new Ferrari SUV that's coming as well. We'll have to see where that ends up. But right now, I would say that this car is kind of, you know, somewhere between Urus and Bentayga. A little bit sportier, a little bit more playful, a little bit more tossable. We're probably not quite as, shall we say, thrill-loving or thrill-seeking as an Urus. But certainly it'll get you into triple digits very quickly. And there is a sense of control that I really enjoy. I don't feel like I'm, like I said, I'm over my head and I'm going to get myself in trouble. I do feel like the car gets smaller as you go quicker, which is always a good sign of a sports car. And you gotta love this Mercedes-Benz V8. It is just glorious, the sound that it makes, the instant torque, the quick shifts that it pronounces and pounds as you're carving these Sardinian roads. Really having a lot of fun with this. Now, you know, if I had my wife in here, would she be yelling at me? Hell yeah! She'd be like, slow down. But you know, the thing about these types of cars is that you can kind of have your cake and eat it too, right? I mean, that's why they're so popular. That's why when the Cayenne first came out, everybody was like, oh my god, I can have a 911 and I can fit my bike in the back, and I can put my wife and my kids in the back, and I can, you know, put the dog in the back. And that's the magic that makes these instantly, these crossovers and SUVs, the best-selling car in its lineup. Aston Martin says that the DBX accounts for over half of all of its sales, and they expect that this one, the 707, will account for at least 65% of that half. So they feel that people are going to go for, you know, the upper end DBX as opposed to the regular one. And I agree, because let's face it, if you're going to go and get yourself a tall sports car, which is what this is, you might as well get yourself the one that is the most powerful, the quickest, the fastest, the top dog in that lineup. So I gotta say, I love this car. Yeah, it's good. Style-wise, I'm not sold. That's a very loud blinker, by the way. Interior, a little on the stodgy side, but dynamically, it's a hoot, and I think they'll probably do very well. It goes on sale in the next month or two in the U.S. Aston Martin does expect that America will be its most popular market. And like I said, it starts about $226, which is up there, probably a little bit more than the Urus. Pricing on the Lamborghini certainly hasn't been, pricing on the Ferrari certainly hasn't been announced yet, and certainly more than the Tesla Model X if you're comparing it to an electric car. And of course that will have even quicker acceleration, but certainly not the road manners of this car. So yeah, yeah, thank you very much for watching. And as always, check out tfl-studios.com for more news views, where we have all of our reviews in one place. And you know what? I'm going to give you a little POV before we call this video done. So let me kind of aim the camera ahead, and you can kind of see what it's like to get behind the wheel of a very powerful, the most powerful Aston Martin DBX out there. So let's go for a little bit of a ride, and you can kind of get a sense of what I'm seeing and what it feels like to be driving this in Italy. So let's, the car's coming. There is a car coming. Yeah, that turn signal, it's a little bit too much like a heartbeat, if you ask me. And I don't think we're going to be able to actually open up this car very much, because it does seem to be a lot of traffic ahead of me. So just, oh yeah, all four wheels are clawing at the ground. And we're going to shut down the fun right now because, well, it is Italy and we are behind a Fiat. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Guys, thanks again for joining me. Like I said, as always, this is Roman reporting for the Fastlane Car. I'll see you next time. Ciao.